guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I've posted a video. Well, I don't know, maybe it's only been like a week or so, but I just feel like I haven't really been putting a whole lot of focus on YouTube because I'm mostly just focusing on IGTVs in this quarantine time just to give my Instagram followers, which is where most of my followers are. I'm just trying to give them as much valuable content as I possibly can, and not all IGTV videos belong on YouTube. So I haven't really done a whole lot here, but I thought I would get on and do one specifically for YouTube because it's a little bit more detailed and kind of off the topic of hair, but still on the topic of something that I'm really passionate about, and that is just in the whole area of lifestyle. And part of the reason why I am super passionate about like lifestyle things is because I have certainly had my fair share of pain experiences, health experiences, gut issues, all that sort of thing. And if you don't know this about me, I actually used to have a food blog, or like more like a food Instagram, but it was where I was sharing kind of my testimony and my story with food and how gut health has been a huge piece of my life and my research. And I personally have struggled with gut issues and allergies to different foods and whatnot, and so having a very specific diet is something that I'm familiar with, and now I've finally reached the point where I'm able to eat pretty much anything I want, but in moderation. But I still am very passionate about trying to avoid certain foods like sugar and high chemically processed and mass-produced foods. So I try to keep it as clean as I can, and mostly that's just for the benefit of my gut health. Part of my journey though has been a lot of physical pain, mostly in my upper body, so my middle back into my neck, and then I have headaches pretty much every day. If you are familiar with this as well, you know that it pretty well impacts every part of your life, your job, just resting at home, watching a movie. I have a hard time sitting through a movie without moving because I just have a lot of pain. And then the biggest thing is sleeping and falling asleep at night. It is not easy when you're experiencing pain. Most of the time it just makes it a very uncomfortable position to just be laying down, whether it's your side or your back. I can't sleep on my stomach because I feel like I can't breathe on my stomach, but sleeping on my side or my back, it really just, I don't know, it's very uncomfortable and it causes a lot of pain. So I have had to figure out a way to fall asleep. As soon as I'm asleep, typically I sleep through the whole night, but it's falling asleep that I find really, really hard. And even in the middle of the night, sometimes when I get up for whatever reason, and then I get back in bed, I notice the pain again, and it keeps me from falling asleep again. So there is something that I have been doing, just a small little easy routine that I've been doing every single night before I go to bed, just to ensure that I get a good sleep as best as I can, and to just relax my body and help me fall asleep. So I'm just going to show you really quick what I do, and hopefully if you're in the same boat as me, you can benefit from this. If not, this is just a really good way to relax yourself before you go to bed, and so it's really going to be beneficial for whoever wants to try it. So let's get started. So the first thing that I like to do is I have this heating pack. This is a heat pack that I have, but you can make one from home with a sock and rice, and you can warm it up. So I warm this up for 1 minute and 30 seconds every single night as I'm like doing my routine of brushing my teeth and washing my face, and I just have that ready to go for right when I get in bed. It has time to kind of cool down a little bit so it's not too hot, but I like it to be warm so that when I'm reading before I go to bed, it just sits on me and helps relax me. So the heat from this honestly just does something to relax your muscles and just kind of get you ready for bed. But it's not just this that I do, because I found when I was just doing this, it really didn't take any pain away. It didn't really relieve any pain. It just kind of relaxed me a little bit. So I actually add something else to this routine that seriously helps kind of numb the pain so I can fall asleep. So there's been a couple of products that I've been using, and sometimes I will mix these two products. Other times I'll just use one or the other, and it just, I'll kind of explain as best as I can what the difference is and how they feel, but they're very, very similar and they have the same effect. So the first thing is this Japanese mint oil. I'm not sure if you guys can read that, but it's for spot massage. So basically what I'll do is I will just open it up. I'll put a few drops on my hand and immediately I'll just go in on my neck and I massage it in with my forefingers. So I just massage it in, I gently do it, but sometimes I'll push right in the sore spots, and that really starts to feel nice. So over time it kind of gets a little bit more intense. And basically how I like to describe these feelings is, I mean, if you've used peppermint oil or anything of that sort, you'll kind of understand, but it just almost feels like there's a fan blowing on your neck, and it is so potent and it feels so good that it kind of numbs the pain, is how I like to kind of explain it. So it's not really taking the pain away, but it's enough to relax me so that I can fall asleep. So as I lay down, I kind of almost feel like my attention is more on that feeling of like that cold air blowing on my muscle, on my neck, and that just kind of takes my mind away from like that tightness and that pain. I'm sure that there's like a scientific way to explain what it's actually doing, but in my layman's terms, this is the best way I can describe it. So I will use this, and the other thing that I really like to use, again, sometimes I'll mix them. If I'm in like a lot of pain, I'll mix them and I'll actually have my husband rub it on my back, like my whole upper back and up, and it really helps. This is Deep Blue from doTERRA. It is with peppermint essential oil. Let's see, what all does it have in it? Wintergreen leaf oil, bark oil, menthol. So a few ingredients there that you already know. Like, it kind of gives you that like fresh air, cold air kind of feeling on your skin. And so when I mix these two together, it definitely just makes it more potent, but I don't necessarily do that all the time. Also, they smell a little bit different. This one smells mostly just like peppermint. This one smells like sweet peppermint. That's how I like to describe it. It just kind of depends on my mood really, but they both work really, really well. Also, doTERRA is just a really good quality oil company, so it's trustworthy. This one is as well, but this is actually, I found this at a local natural store here in where I live. I'll link it below if you can find it on Amazon. This one you can order online with a doTERRA. Again, they're just an amazing company with essential oils that are natural and trustworthy, and they work wonders. This one I use a lot more when I need it spread all over me because it's like a lotion kind of texture. This is just oil. I'll have my husband like rub it like all on my upper back. Actually right now as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, I could really use a rub down right now. He'll just rub it all on my back and then up into my neck, and it just feels so good. And then on top of that, I will put this heat pack. So as you can imagine, when you feel like there's a fan blowing on you, it kind of makes you chilly, which can not be in your favor when you're feeling tense already, which is causing your pain. So I like to stay warm, and then again, this is relaxing my muscles as well. So it's kind of like a double whammo. I'll just put the oil and the lotion on, and I'll either wear it like this around my neck. Sometimes I bring it up higher so it's sitting higher up here. Sometimes I keep it around one side and I'll put the other side down, and then I'll sit against my pillow. And then that way it's in the middle of my back, which is where I feel a lot of pain as well. And then I'll just switch it when I feel like I should, like this, so it's getting both sides of my neck as well. So like I say, putting the heat on top of the oil is kind of that like final thing for me with relaxing my muscles and just making it easier for me to fall asleep. The last thing that I do that really helps as well with stress, this is why I feel like I experience a lot of pain, is because of stress. I'm just a high-strung, stressed person. I'm type A, I'm a perfectionist, I'm an achiever, and all of those things combined together make for one unhealthy mind if you don't keep it in check. So at nighttime, often go to bed feeling like I have things that I haven't completed yet, and that might not make any sense at all if you're not like me in that way, but I just go to bed a lot thinking like I could still be doing something productive right now, so it's really hard for me to just wind down. Alongside this routine that I do. I always spend time reading before I go to sleep. I put my phone away and I just try to take my mind off of the things that happen throughout the day, things that are happening outside of my home. I don't need to think about any of those things before I go to bed. I just need to focus on getting a good sleep. And so I will read my book, and then I will also add this lavender, doTERRA's lavender essential oil, and this really helps just kind of relieve stress. I don't really know how it's working, but I know, and I'm sure you do, that you can put lavender in your bath. You can put, you know, if you drink lavender tea or whatever it is, like lavender is definitely known to help reduce stress and kind of calm you down a little bit and kind of bring you back to center. When I use this at night, I will follow everything that I just showed you up with this, and I will put a little bit on my fingers and I'll put some on my temples, and a little goes a long way. It can be really strong, so just a little bit on my temples, and then once in a while I'll put a little bit on my chest. It just kind of depends, but those are kind of the two spots that I find help, and that way I'm breathing it in, and I don't really think it's doing anything physically to me. It's more just that breathing in that really nice, relaxing, calming smell. And it really has seemed to help me just kind of as I read and as I wind down from the day. It just allows me to kind of think about something else. Honestly, it takes my mind off of all the things from the day and puts me back into this relaxing state where I can fall asleep well. So that is what I do every single night before I go to bed. And again, if you're like me or if you're not, this is really a good routine for anyone. Maybe you're not someone that experiences physical pain from your stress, but you could still benefit from less stress before you go to bed. Maybe you're not sleeping deeply enough to feel rested in the morning. Whatever it is, I know that this routine would be helpful really for anyone, but specifically if you're like me and you experience a lot of pain. Again, it's not taking the pain from me, it's just relieving it enough to allow me to fall asleep. We'll work on like the pain, why I'm having the pain in the first place. All that stuff needs to obviously be dealt with, but I need to get a good sleep. And so this is what I have found to really help me. So hopefully this was helpful to you. I will link everything that I shared below. The heating pack, I don't think I can link, but I'll find one that I can link. And because this one was actually gifted to me, but you can really get these anywhere, I'm pretty sure. So I will put that all below, and if you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe so you can see the next one. And again, if you're not following me on Instagram, it's called @hair_by_Lindy. I am a hairstylist, but I also include a lot of hair, beauty, lifestyle, all of those things. I write blogs. So if you have not gone over there to follow, make sure you do. And as always, I look forward to seeing you on the next video.